When you're working with MAC addresses on your virtual machines, there are going to be those times, although they may be kind of rare, where you need to physically change the MAC address on a machine. This could be testing security, testing all kind of things, but a virtual machine's MAC address can be changed or manually assigned, and let's talk about how to do that. First of all, to change a MAC address, to simply generate a new or different MAC address, requires 4 easy steps. First of all, and I'm going to demonstrate this in just a second for you, but we'll select virtual machine in our workstation environment. Then we'll select the virtual machine menu choice and choose settings. We'll select the virtual network adapter on the hardware tab, click advanced, and either enter a new MAC address or click generate. Now let's go take a look at this, and then we'll click OK to save our changes. So let's go out into Workstation and look at this. So here we are in Workstation, and notice that if I go to VM settings, it's the same as going right here. I can click on this bridged network adapter right here, click advanced, and you'll notice you can see right here AC14B6. I can click generate, and it generated a different one. I can click it again and generate a different one, and I can just keep going. Now I want you to notice something here. Every time I generate it, these last 3 sections change. The first 3, 0, 50, 56 does not change. Okay, so keep that in mind. So anyway, that is how I would change the MAC address. I could generate a new one, or type in generate a changed one and generate a new one, or I could just type in one. Now let's jump back out and continue our conversation, because there's some things about adding a new MAC address that you need to be aware of. So now let's talk about manually assigning a virtual machine MAC address. First of all, I want to use a text editor. I want to get out in that VMX file. I want to open the VMX file, and I want to remove these lines from the VMX file. The Ethernet generated address, the Ethernet address type, the Ethernet generated address offset. Make sure you're doing it for the right numbered network adapter, and then I want to add a new line to the VMX file, but I want to be sure that I add this line up above any lines that are addressing the UUID in any form. So anytime I see a line with UUID, I want to keep moving up, and then I just want to add this new line. Ethernet in the number of the adapter dot address equals, notice 00 colon 50 colon 56 must be there. I can put my own information out here. This has to be here. Workstation does not just do arbitrary MAC address numbers. You will have to put the correct one in here, or you're going to have some issues. So that's how to manually assign a MAC address, and it will stay there. And anytime you want to change the location of the VMX file, just remember the MAC address. Once you get it in a new place, go change it back manually to what you originally wanted it to be for whatever reason. But again, a lot of times we can do MAC address restrictions on security items and so forth, and this is a great way to go in, fiddle with the MAC address, southern technical term there for changing it, not knowing what's going to happen, and you can do all kinds of cool tests in this networking environment. So anyway, that's how to change and manipulate your MAC addresses on each individual network adapter in each one of your virtual machines.